Take Flight with Hannah Mason. I'm Hannah Mason, and today we're going to be discussing the work of Byron Katie. I believe every single one of us is here to learn and grow. And just like you need a hose and a shovel to tend your backyard garden, you need tools for personal growth in order to tend the garden of your soul. One of the greatest tools that I've ever found for tending my spiritual garden is the work of Byron Katie. The work is so simple that even kids can use it, but so spiritually deep that even Kabbalah reading junkies like me get a total kick out of it. So the work is based on the principle that every time you experience distress, such as anger or frustration or sadness, that there's some underlying thought or belief that creates that emotion. And that if we can take a look at that underlying thought or belief, we can learn a lot about ourselves, we can grow into better human beings, and we can also possibly eliminate some of those ugly emotions that we really don't enjoy feeling and get in the way of us connecting to other people, being the best selves that we can be, and simply just being happy. So how does the work work? Anytime that you experience upset, let's say it's real frustration, identify the thought underlying that frustration. So for me, for example, I have this courtyard right outside of my apartment, and cats keep jumping into that courtyard. And every time I see a cat, I find just all this anger riling up, and I get so frustrated with these cats. And so the first thing that I need to do is identify what's the thought that's causing all of this upset. I look outside into my courtyard, I see this cat, and the first thing that comes into my mind is, the cat shouldn't be there. Cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. So right away I know I have a thought that's making me upset. And it seems like the thought is totally true. The cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. But I'm going to take a look at that thought and see if maybe it has something to teach me about myself, and if there's a way that I can look around that thought so that I can experience a more joyful and peaceful life. I ask myself, is it true that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard? This is a simple yes or no question. It's not a time to discuss all the reasons why I think it's true or all the reasons why I think it's not true. It's really simple. It's just right to my gut. Is it true? Cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. So for me, feels really true. Cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. It's disgusting. They're pooping everywhere. They're messing up my vegetables. No, they shouldn't be in my courtyard. Step number 2. Here's where I ask my intellect. I go a little bit more honest, and I have to take a moment to really think this one through. Can I absolutely know that it's true that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard? So I take a moment to think about it. Can I absolutely know that it's true where these cats should be and that they shouldn't be in my courtyard? No, I can't say that I for sure know where those cats belong. So I'm going to say no to this one. But I could just as easily say yes. The most important thing is that I'm honest, and that I'm honest either with a yes or a no, and not a really long dialogue with myself. Step number 3. I ask myself, how do I react when I believe the thought that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard? And I'm standing either inside or outside, and I'm seeing this cat pooping on my kale, for example, which it did. This is a really good time to go inside. Byron Katie calls this a moment of meditation. I go inside. I check in with what's going on with my body when I'm believing this thought. Cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. And right away, I find my shoulders lifting, my hands start to clench, my body gets tight, and I guess even my stomach gets a little bit tight. I feel very violent, like I want to hurt the cats, even though I actually really like animals, but in that moment, another thing that happens is I find myself yelling at the cats, or I'll run outside and be like this really scary creature, and the cats totally freak out and leap out of my courtyard as quickly as they can. So you get an idea of what my reactions to these cats being in my courtyard could be like. If it was a thought that was really personal and deep, or something that was affecting my life in a major way, I think it would be really beneficial to spend more time and think about all the different ways that I react, like maybe certain addictions come up, or think about how I treat other people. But for now, I think this is enough with the cats. So now we go into step number 4. Take a deep breath. and just sort of clear my mind from all of the yuckiness that step number 3 brought into my consciousness, and imagine myself standing, looking outside in my courtyard. I'm back in the exact same situation, and there's a cat. And I ask myself, who would I be without the thought that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard? I notice that I'm really fascinated by these creatures and how they move and how their shoulders sort of pop up as they strut, and how every single one has like a different color mane, and how beautiful I think that is. I also start to wonder where this cat lives, and I just get kind of curious. Where does the cat live and what does it do? And I wonder why it wants to be here and what it is about my garden that it really likes. And I just go into an open place of curiosity. I still don't want the cat pooping on my kale because I like my kale and I don't want cat poop in it. At the same time, I don't find myself getting super angry about it. I might go outside and let the cat know that it's time to go, but I don't need to become a monster in order to make that happen. Cats are pretty scared of people around here as it is. Then we can go into step number 5, which is my absolute favorite part of the work, because this is where I can learn about myself and about how I can be a better human being. It requires that I take responsibility for my life, which can sometimes suck, because there's something kind of comfortable about being a victim, but at the same time, who wants to be a victim? I want to take control. We're taking flight, we're going places, and that's why we're here. So this is my favorite part of the work. And now you're like, what is it? This is when we turn it around, which means that we take the original statement, which in this case is cats shouldn't be in my garden, and we turn it around to its 180-degree opposite. I like to think of it almost as if the thought is like a hologram, and you can sort of twist it around and see it from lots of different perspectives. And every perspective, every twist of this thought has something new to teach us. So there's this idea that I'm holding that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard, which forces me to kind of fight with the reality that, well, they're there. So they're there, and I'm saying, no, you shouldn't be there. You can't be there. It's not okay that you're there, but they're there. So maybe twisting it around will allow me to learn something new. One way I can turn the sentence around is simply by taking the negative and turning it into a positive. You can also take a positive and turn it into a negative if that's the reality of your statement. So here I have cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. And I can turn that around to say cats should be in my courtyard. And now, in order for this thought to have any validity in my mind, I have to give it proof statements. So it's kind of like you have a building, and there's all these pillars holding up the building. And there's lots and lots of pillars holding up the idea that cats shouldn't be in my courtyard. I have the poop, and the sanitation, and the fact that I didn't invite them here, and it's not their courtyard, and this and this and this and that. But I want to allow myself to have this other perspective and see if it has something to teach me. So the first thing I have to do is build some pillars under this building. And we know that no structure can stand unless it has at least 3 pillars. So we start with 3. And if we can come up with more, that's great, but we don't have to. Cats should be in my courtyard. One reason why that's true is because they are. That's the reality, is that cats are in my courtyard. Another reason why cats should be in my courtyard, because they like it there. It's cozy, it's comfortable, it's protected. Another reason they like to be in my courtyard is because they have great aesthetic taste. We put a lot of effort into making this place beautiful, and I guess cats know what beauty looks like. Another reason that cats should be in my courtyard, see, I'm already at 4, is that I haven't created a complete fence around my courtyard. That is where I have to really look inside of myself. Have I done everything that I possibly could do in order to keep cats out of my courtyard? And I have to be honest and say that I haven't. So I've already have a clue as to one place where I can work on myself as a human being, which is to set boundaries for myself if I don't want outside intruders in, specifically the cats. Now we have the opportunity to do another turnaround. I should be in my courtyard. And I think about it, how many minutes a day do I spend in my courtyard? Some days I don't go out there at all. Some days I only spend 5 or 10 minutes there. And if I think it's such a beautiful space that I love so much, so I think it would be a really good idea for me to spend more time there. I should be in my courtyard because it's mine and because it's beautiful. I should be in my courtyard because it's full of flowers and herbs, and every time I smell them, they bring me so much joy. I love yummy smelling things. So there I have my reasons why I should be in my courtyard. That gives you an idea of some ways of turning statements around so that you can see, wow, where do I have to learn and grow? So in this specific situation, what are the lessons that I've learned? Lesson number 1, if I love a space, I should spend time there. Lesson number 2, if I love a space, I should protect it from harm. In this case, building a fence. Number 3, the more time I spend in my garden, the happier both my plants and their owner are. If a thought comes my way, no matter how yucky it is, it's coming my way because it has something to teach me. All I have to do is take a moment to quiet my mind, to allow myself to feel how the thought is causing my body to react, and also to take a moment to look at the holographic universe of this thought, to all the different iterations that this thought can create, all the turnarounds it can create, so I can see where my work in the world is. I find myself a lot more peaceful about the cats, and I noticed that when I first did the work about the cats, right away I noticed that I'd just been putting off making a fence because I was so busy being angry with the cats. And the minute I did the turnarounds with the cats, I realized wow, all I have to do is just put up a fence. There's only this one place where all the cats are coming in. And we did that. We put up a fence, and right away the cats stopped coming into my garden, and I didn't have to take poop out of my kale anymore, which is really, really disgusting. So I recommend that you take the time to check out the work of Byron Katie. You can go to thework.com and check out lots and lots of videos and materials. She has everything easily available. I also highly recommend you check out her best book, which is Loving What Is. And it explains the work and goes through a whole bunch of dialogues where she holds space for other people. She facilitates other people going through the process of the work. Now, facilitation is something that I also do with my clients in my personal growth guiding. And if it's something that you might be looking for in order to help yourself go towards greater joy, vibrance, and clarity, I recommend you be in touch. Check out more at hanamason.com.